the latest. Thank you for love and support. I appreciate you all. Recently, we heard that Donald Trump, the president of the United States of America, was giving out free refugee status to the white South Africans. According to him, he wants to relocate the white South Africans because they are treated badly and discriminated against in South Africa, simply because Cyril Ramaphosa decided to restructure and reform the land law in South Africa. Since 1994, Black South Africans have been facing this kind of discrimination whereby the white ones own majority of the land. According to reports, some of them are even owing like hundreds of thousands of acres of land per a person. And this is something that Cyril Ramaphosa said is injustice, and they have to restructure this law to cater for everybody so that the land will be distributed equally to all South Africans. And the white South Africans are not happy about it. And Trump is saying that this is unfair. The land must still be owned by the white South Africans. They should decide to have the vast majority, and every policy that favors the white should remain the same. If not, they are going to impose sanctions. So for that reason, he's relocating all the white South Africans, the farmers, to the United States of America. But the white South Africans have also responded and said they don't know any other place that is their home like Africa, and South Africa is their home. They have moved from wherever they came from, their ancestors, over 400, 300 years ago, and made South Africa and Africa their home. So for that reason, they want to stay here, and they do not want to be dragged into any diplomatic issues that Trump or United States of America have with South Africa, because according to reports, some are saying that it's because South Africa boldly declared their stand for Palestine against the Israelis, and that is why all these things are happening. And some are also saying Elon Musk is behind all this, and they do not want to be dragged into it. They no longer see themselves as Europeans after these long years.
Now, we took note of Mr. Trump's executive order with regard to South Africa in general and Afrikaners in particular. His order and the other statements of senior American officials, Afrikaners as an indigenous cultural community. We welcome the concern of imported Americans about our situation, but we believe that the solution must be found in South Africa. We reaffirm today our commitment and our firm commitment to the country and all its people. Although we differ with the ANC about the direction of the country, the many race laws that make us second-class citizens, the treatment of the Afrikaans community with the Bella Act, laws like the Expropriation Act, and the blatant threats made by certain politicians towards Afrikaners. And we are, of course, concerned about our human rights. However, we want to put on record the following. Firstly, we did not accuse the government of large-scale race-based land grabs or distribute false information in this regard. Secondly, we did not and will not ask for sanctions against South Africa or that funds for vulnerable people to be cut off by the US government. Thirdly, we explicitly, over the past 3-4 years, we explicitly asked senior US officials not to kick South Africa out of the AGOA Act because of the suffering it will cause to farmers and their workers and the work and livelihoods of workers in the motor, chemical and other industries.
Emphasize that the United States response to South Africa and President Trump's executive order has nothing to do with solidarity and AfriForum, but everything to do with the reckless domestic, foreign and diplomatic policies of the ANC. Solidarity also wants to reaffirm its commitment to the country. Our members work here and want to stay here, and they are going to stay here. We are committed to build a future here. We are not going anywhere. We are committed to dialogue. However, the ANC leaders has made dialogue difficult by breaching trust when it signed the Bella Act and through the dishonorable way it handled the NETLAC agreement on Bella. Kalikru also referred to that. There was no form of loyalty or integrity towards us in that specific process. Solidarity represents ordinary workers. The G20 summit places South Africa in the spotlight. And this could be a major investment opportunity that addresses unemployment, poverty, and inequality. Or it could be an investment disaster. The US focus on South Africa will expose the country's reckless domestic policy to the world. The ANC's foreign policy exposes all of us in South Africa. The group most affected by this exposure is workers. The world's largest economy and one of South Africa's biggest trade partners has been alienated by the ANC leaders. And this was not the fault of AfriForum or Solidarity, but of the ANC. For the past 3 years, it has been clear that the Americans are displeased with South Africa's closer ties of countries such as China, Russia, and Iran. South Africa's case against Israel has further contributed to this, and there are numerous other examples. But this is a diplomatic battle between countries. But one consequence of the ANC's foreign policy is that South Africa could be expelled from AGOA. So their diplomatic stance has effects on us and on our members. South Africa currently enjoys extremely favorable trade relations with the US, especially through AGOA. And in 2024, more than 10% of all South African exports went to the USA. Exports worth approximately 150.
It's a hot day in South Africa, and Donald Trump has just come on air to say that he has seen the terrible things going on in South Africa. I live here, and I haven't really seen the terrible things he speaks about. I'm continually amazed at the disinformation that this man sends. I'm amazed that anyone would believe him. We in South Africa are laughing. We honestly are. But what worries me most is that you Americans seem to believe him. Even statements about your own country, you believe that he's doing the best thing. I feel very sad for you and very down. I hope you can get this man out one way or the other. Goodbye.
So, this is a lesson to we, the Africans, who are seeing Africa as hell, and we are moving out of the African continent. If the white people are deciding to remain in Africa because they see that Africa is the richest continent on this planet Earth, and for that reason, they have made everything that they've made because of them having that African descent kind of lineage, so they don't want to move out. They have seen the beautiful things that we have. Is it the mineral resources? Is it the vegetation? Name what is it that Africa we do not have. Is it rivers? Is it forests? Africa is blessed with all the natural resources that you can ever think about. We have gold, we have diamond, we have timber, we have bauxite, aluminium. Everything is given to us by nature, and for that reason they don't want to move out. So if truly the United States of America is a wonderful heaven that these people projected the nation to be, will the white South Africans not leave Africa to go there, as we are told that United States of America is the second heaven on earth? We have to rethink things over and know that as Africans, a false narrative that were given to us so that we leave Africa for these people to have whatsoever that they want to keep getting in Africa. Oyibo do not want to leave us to enjoy. Like one professor said, that aid for what? Aid for natural resources. That this theology, all the things that we learn at school are all programmed by these people to make us stay where we are. That just look at Japan. Japan some decades ago, Japan was a nobody. And when they allow Japan, Japan is somebody today. So they will do everything possible to stop Africa from also rising up to that level. So we have also allowed ourselves, and they've eaten into our brains. And today we are dying on the Mediterranean Sea, living here to go there, help them develop the country and their continent, and at the end of the day they will still send you back without giving you a pin. And these people have different methods of bringing us into the United States of America or any other part of the continent by using scholarships and bringing out the brilliant ones that will stay in Africa to develop the African continent. And our leaders, when you also have the chance to also help these people, the brilliant ones with all the skills that the Oyibo always come for, you don't do that. So that these skills and knowledge will remain in Africa to develop Africa. Like Captain Ibrahim Traore made it clear to us, this is something that these people are using to cripple Africa. And we have to love the continent as well to stay here. Everything money is on the continent. If we fight and get Africa a better place, we will get all the money that we want. If truly Africa is poor, these white people would have left Africa to go to the United States. Because that is where we say it is land of opportunities. But Africa is actually the case. There is no place like home, and there is no place like Africa. So we have to love the continent and stay here, work to get Africa, the African that we want to see for ourselves and the next generations. Even if we don't get it, we should be proud that we are living a better Africa behind for the next generation. We are always thinking of dying and inheriting heaven, yet these people are busy making their heaven on earth. They said in every crisis there is an opportunity, and this is an opportunity for we the Africans to also know that there is something beautiful and wonderful in our continent. We have to all team up and work for a better Africa. Let us stop thinking of making the heaven on earth, like they told us that everything is vanity. So we should fight and do everything possible for us to inherit the heaven on earth, because here whatsoever that you labor for, it is what that will destroy it. It is not true. If it is so, they should go and inherit the kingdom and the heaven and the goal that we will be walking on in heaven, so that Africa will prefer to walk on the goal that we have here on earth. So we have to decolonize all these things that they've kept in our mind because of what they want to be taken out of Africa. Let's unite, even though sometimes we say the leaders are our problem. The leaders and we ourselves are also the problem, because when we should stay here and team up, we can decide the kind of leaders that we want. We should fight any bad leadership that will come and wouldn't do anything to develop and change the narrative that we want to see. So we are also factors, because if we keep allowing ourselves to be taking 100 Ghana, 200 cedis to do whatsoever that they want without fighting for accountability, then we are also contributing to the problem. And if we also keep allowing ourselves to be taken out of African continent with the skills that we have, how do the nation develop? So it is the leaders and it is we the citizens and everything that we all need to put together to give Africa a better place that we want to see. So Africa is heaven actually, because these people have really exposed it to us, even though as much as we try to understand and believe it, we still have doubts. But now that doubt has been clarified. Oyibo himself rejected heaven for hell. Why will you not leave your hell for heaven and be dying on the Mediterranean Sea for no reason? At the end of the day, when you finally get there, see the kind of treatment they give to you. So we have to sit in Africa, develop Africa, and make Africa a better place. The youth these days, we are all thinking about making money quick, without thinking 100 years, 200 years, what will I live? What will the next generations come and face? This is the difference between the white people and we the blacks, they are always thinking ahead and thinking about what the next generations will come and inherit. We are always thinking about what will I get, what will I eat for today, and that ends it. And we have to also have a plan that we will follow to develop the continent for the next generations to come. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. So let's keep sharing and educating ourselves and know that where we are is actually the heaven on earth. That's the Garden of Eden that we have left, and we are looking for it somewhere. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's fight to decolonize our mentality. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa and in South Africa.